Hello again, my friends. It's been a really interesting month here of late on the channel, with Pimax reaching out offering to review their 5K Plus headset, but I've also been contacted by HTC. They offered me two things. One, a review of their Viveport Infinity subscription service, but also a review of their Vive Pro headset. Now, the Vive Pro, I'm still putting it through its paces. That will be in an upcoming review video. But today, we're reviewing the Viveport Infinity subscription service. In exchange for doing this review, they gave me a free Viveport Infinity membership. And so, just so you know, that was our arrangement with this review. But let's get down to it. I tested it out for the past couple weeks and wanted to share with you my thoughts and walk you through the process. The service itself is really straightforward. Think of it like Netflix for video games. You pay a monthly subscription fee, and in return you get to play hundreds of VR games. During installation, I was a little hesitant because there's this one area that tells you where your Steam VR folder is, and I wanted a way to turn that off because I only want Steam updating Steam VR files. I didn't want HTC changing Steam's files. So I found that pretty confusing. But HTC did clarify that for me. They stated that our installer is merely prompting the Steam client's updater services to launch, which ensures the Steam client is updated to a recent version. So they're not changing Steam's files in any way, which I found reassuring. And in the end, the installation worked out just fine. Once you have Viveport installed, there's three ways to browse the store. Through the desktop app that you just installed, but also in VR, there's a new section for Vive inside Steam VR. Clicking on that allows you to see the Viveport library similar to browsing the Steam store while in VR. And there is a third way to browse the library, that's by launching the Viveport VR app. This is separate from the Vive section of Steam VR. This is an app that you actually go into inside VR. Out of all three options, I like browsing on the desktop app the best. All three options work, but the desktop app I found to be the most intuitive and useful. It's important to know that not all titles are in the Infinity subscription service. Some titles are paid only, similar to purchasing on Steam. But on the left side, it's easy to click Paid or Infinity. Clicking those obviously will show all the titles inside that category, but if you're searching for a particular title, inside the search results, you can see if it has a little infinity symbol, and that will clearly be an Infinity title. If it doesn't have an infinity symbol, then it's a paid game. So on the desktop app and in the VR version of the store, things are pretty well designed, but there's one thing I wish they would change. Because inside the Viveport library, it shows you the titles you've downloaded on Viveport and games inside your Steam library. I wish there was a way to separate the two libraries. Separate Viveport games from Steam VR games. That would be much better for my needs to organize to see which game is in which library. Now, I did change the setting in Viveport to make a custom location where it's installing all the Viveport games, but doing that did not create categories or separate the two libraries. In Viveport, your Steam library and Infinity are all one giant library. It would be great to separate the two somehow. To my knowledge, there isn't a way to do that, and that's a feature I would like to see. As far as the game selection inside the Infinity library, I was actually impressed with how many good games there are inside. Now, obviously not every game is inside the Infinity library, but at first I thought only the really great games would be paid and the subpar games would come with Infinity. But I was pleasantly surprised. There's some really great titles that come with Infinity. I'm gonna link down below to a video from Chess and Carrie. They recently made a top 10 list of the best games that come with Infinity, and it's a great list. So I'll link to that down below for you to check out. But there's plenty of amazing titles on there. Certainly not every game you would hope to find, but there's lots of great ones. One important thing to note is that you can sign up for a free trial of Viveport Infinity, but know that to do that you have to put in a payment method, credit card or otherwise, and after your free trial ends, you will then begin to be billed monthly automatically. So if you want to try the free trial and you want to quit it, be sure to quit the free trial before that period ends or you will be billed. To their credit, they are clear in stating that, especially in the email you receive after you sign up for the free trial. They make it clear, so they're not being deceptive with that, but just so you know, that's how it goes. So there you have it. This is a pretty short review video from me because it's a very straightforward service. There's a few gotchas like I mentioned, but you get what you pay for, and it works out pretty well. I will say, however, if you already have a massive VR library, you probably won't find many titles you're looking for in the Infinity library. But if you're brand new to VR, or you don't own very many titles, then you could find a lot of value in this. Like if you just bought your headset and you have no games at all, for the monthly fee, you get to try out and sample a ton of games for the first time to sort of seek out and find what you're looking for. So if you have a small library, I think you'll find a lot of value in this. But if you already have a massive library, you probably won't find very much. So those are my thoughts on the Viveport Infinity subscription service. In the future, like I said, will be the Vive Pro review. Looking forward to that one. And that's it for today. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you later. All right, bye. Well, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe. See ya!